I'm not looking forward to living in that year, about 50 years' time. I mean, the world seems to be in such a terrible state now, let alone in 50 years' time.
That's crazy. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the channel where we find the truth, seek understanding, and be the light. It's your boy, Big Blue. Sorry, I always gotta check my mic because So it's interesting. I was just scoping around, trying to find new videos to, react to and all that good jazz. And then this actually popped up on my feed. It's from BBC Archive. Now, it's very interesting because we live in a crazy world today, not just in all the nonsense that's happening out in the world, but technology, which I guess is part of the nonsense, but how it's being used in today. So this video is from 1989. Thought houses would look like this by 2020. Mind you, we're in 2025. The stuff that happened in 2020, 2020 even seems old, and it's only been 5 years ago. So let's go ahead and take a gander at this video and see how accurate they were in 1989. Let's look at that. Jeez, man.
What are going to be the biggest changes in our homes by 2020? Will the house of the future protect the environment? And what new technology do researchers...
They'll protect you from the inside. They'll protect you from the inside. Yeah, sure.
Just think we'll be living with. Well, we've been talking to some of the people who've been thinking about the home of the future. Christine McNulty.
I started the Home of the Future project to find out what people will want from their homes. They'll want all the benefits of modern technology, but without all this cluttered and complex gadgetry that we have today. They'll want homes that work for them. By 2020, all of this will be possible. We'll have things under control without all of these knobs and buttons. And what's more, the technology itself will be embedded in the very fabric of the house and its furnishings.
Okay, I definitely see that. I mean, you got your smart devices, your smart lights, your smart cameras. Heck, I mean, friends of ours just gave us a smart vacuum, and I love that little T-Vac. He goes up and picks up everything on the downstairs. I wish he can go upstairs. That'll be something that could be nice in the future. At that point, it just might as well have a whole robot at that point.
So the idea is, once all the clutter of technology has gone, you'll be able to furnish your rooms in any style you like.
They say clutter of technology, but I've yet to see a technology that she's talking about.
You won't actually be able to see the technology, but it will be there, doing its job without getting in your way.
That means the lights automatically switch off.
We have that.
And on as you walk between rooms.
We have that. Oh, yeah. Dang. I mean, that's not something that's normally in a house. You could install those in a house. I haven't seen anything like that. We used to have the little small light thingies that we would put in the hallways or just put in naturally dark places that don't have lights, or like closets and stuff like that. And then they would illuminate, motion control. They would illuminate when somebody comes through. We'd have them in the hallways, on the stairs and stuff like that, just for the kids, especially when we had the boy. He was always going in and out through the hallways. We didn't want him to trip over, or me specifically when I'm going to get something downstairs. But yeah, we got that. As far as like the room lights, yeah, like I had automated lights to where they would turn on at a specific time. I didn't like it too much because, I mean, it would work sometimes. It was with the Google situation, and it would work sometimes. And I guess some days I just didn't want to get up, and then it turned on anyway. I don't know. But yeah, we have that. Yeah.
And the home learns how bright you like them. A simple command gives you music, perhaps piped in from a sound library.
Amazon or Google and Spotify. Yep, we got that.
Bark, please. And no more PowerPoints. Plugs become pads, picking up power from anywhere on the wall.
Now that is crazy. Oh, snap. That is wild. How would that even work? Just electromagnet. No, at that point, I don't even think it would be safe to be in the house if that was the case. Unless I don't know, our houses were made out of vibranium. Then I could see that happening. But that right now, I don't think that would be safe. Allowing electric currents to go through the whole house, through the walls, to where you just gotta attach it to the wall and then it charges, or has power. No, that's crazy.
And even windows will take an active part in the home, according to another researcher, David Button.
This is today's glass technology, whereby combining thin transparent coatings with ordinary conventional glass, we're able to change the performance of the glass. We can diffuse the glass for privacy, and with other coatings, we can control the glare and the solar radiation.
We have that in glasses. Y'all will have to let me know in the comment section, because I don't really know about that one. I'm not 100%. I know you can have them already installed, but for the transparency to just be so fluid like that, I haven't seen something like that's kind of automated. But I could be wrong. I mean, I still live under a rock, so I don't know. I want to doubt that we do.
In other words, we can vary the performance of the window. This liquid crystal display TV again involves a material sandwiched between two.
What the heck is that? Hold on, what?
This liquid crystal display TV again involves a material sandwiched between two thin pieces of glass. Screens more than a meter wide are being developed. These systems depend on light passing through the glass. But this glass has a coating which can act as a light source in itself, becoming a prototype display screen. This imaging technology is embodied in very thin coatings, which will be developed to be transparent. And when combined with ordinary glass, it means that your glass tabletop could become a VDU screen, and indeed your window could become something very remarkable.
So a simple command could turn a window into a wall, and you could decorate it how you want. Or it could be a television or a computer screen.
We definitely have those. It's not really used for Windows per se, but when you have so for instance, Comcast, they have those giant big monitors that display, whatever that they want to display on there. And it's just a whole bunch of pixelated crystal stuff that's within them, but it can display almost anything. So we have that, just not in a home. And again, probably some millionaire probably has that in their home. I don't know. But yeah, we kind of have that.
Well, that may be a little futuristic or too expensive for most people.
Video games would be crazy.
But there's one area where homes are going to have to change.
By 2020, there will have been enormous pressure on us to cut down on our burning of fossil fuels to protect the environment.
Right.
This means that energy management in our homes will become of critical importance.
There are already materials that can help. This honeycomb material is being used on the outside of a building in Strathclyde to heat it by trapping the energy in diffuse daylight as it hits the walls. And aerogel, this is aerogel here, is a form of glass with a similar structure at a microscopic level. It can do the same job, but it'll be thinner and transparent. And if these two things become widely used by 2020, the coatings could one day reduce heating bills almost to zero and help to cut down our use of fossil fuels.
The other key is for the home to use more energy more intelligently. The heating system could learn your daily routine and only heat the rooms that you'll be using. The living room would be at just the right temperature as you come downstairs.
The people
There's motion detection. I know that for a fact with Google, especially you can set it to automate to where when you're coming home, and I know we had this with the old house. I use it sometimes, but not too much. But essentially when you're coming home and then you get connected onto your house's network, you can set it to where your Wi-Fi you can set it to where your Google Nest, your Google thermostat picks up that you're now on the home Wi-Fi network and then automatically turns on the heating or AC unit to the desired temperature that you have set. Now, when you come down to a specific room, that would require, let me see, some type of motion detection to pick up that there's somebody downstairs. Use this, switch the AC to X, and if you don't detect no motion, then turn it off. But then that could also be annoying because let's say you're watching a movie and you fall asleep and you're not moving, or the motion detector is behind you and you're laying down on the couch, it's going to be like, oh, nobody's been moving, so let me go ahead and turn off the AC or turn off the heat. And then next thing you know, you're feeling uncomfortable after a while. So I don't doubt that that is a thing. I just haven't seen it yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if that is a thing. I mean, well, the first part, yeah, that is a thing because I've done it. But the second part, as far as like going into a room or like downstairs and then, the thermostat changes. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we could do it on our phone, so they weren't expecting that. They weren't expecting that. So,
who are already planning the home we'll be living in 30 years assure us that we can take as much or as little of this technology as we like. The crucial point is that there'll be no single home of the future, there'll be millions of different ones. We choose the type of home we want to live in, the technology takes a back seat. BBC One, please.
I'm curious. Let's do another one.
What?
Oh my goodness, 1966? So this is essentially their life in 40 or 34 years, where they would be slightly older than me growing up in my time frame. This is crazy. All right, let's check it out.
The year 2000. I think I'll probably be the spaceship to the moon dictating robots to robots. Or else I may be, I don't know, in charge of a robot court, judging some robots, or I may be at the funeral of a computer.
When did the idea of robots even start? I mean, I guess when the idea of a computer came about, and then whoever just even thought of the term robot. I could search it up, but we gotta keep watching.
Or if something's gone wrong with their nuclear bombs, I may be sort of coming back from hunting in a cave.
I don't like the idea of sort of getting up and finding you've got a cabbage pill to eat for breakfast or something.
Well, I think all these atomic bombs will be dropping around the place. And one will get near the centre because it will sort of make a huge, great big crater. And then the world will just melt and the world will become one vast atomic explosion.
This is the 60s. These are some dark kids. What the heck? Why are we talking about nuclear bombs? Why are these children talking about well, yeah, I mean, okay, never mind. I forgot the time period. So that actually makes sense. But that's crazy, man. See how much the world affects the mind of the child. What goes on affects the mind of the child when they're exposed to what's happening in the world. It's crazy.
And it will become like a supernova, stars.
Some madman will get the atomic bomb and just blow the world into oblivion.
There's nothing you can do to stop it. More people will get bombs.
What is happening? What is happening? How did we get here? Like, what? These kids are just aware of the stuff that happens, and they're aware of war and violence and this country having bombs and that country having bombs, which is interesting because it's like practically every country in the world has some form of a nuclear bomb. Just in case, for what? I don't understand, because the second that one of a nuclear bomb goes off or is tracked to be going somewhere, I'm pretty sure they're just going to be sent around the whole world and everybody's just going to be done. Unless you're in some underground remote area in which nobody knows about, in a land with a great enough square footage that nobody knows about. But guys, these kids are really out here like concerned. I mean, the guys are excited about the moms, but like this young woman is concerned about the bombs that are in the world. We're talking about how life is going to be in 2000, and they're talking about bombs. It's crazy.
The more, well, somebody's going to use it one day.
Well, I think that it'll be so overpopulated that there'll all be wars, all nuclear explosions and everything. It'll make the Earth, too much radiation on it. It'll become
Nah, this is scripted. There's no way. This can't be real. Yeah, this can't be real right now. What the heck?
too hot to live on. I think that there'll be no life at all, really, on the Earth. I don't think there is going to be atomic warfare, but I think that there is going to be all this automation. People are going to be out of work and a great population. And I think something has to be done about it. If I wasn't a biologist, that's what I'd like to do something about the population problem. Try and sort of temper it somehow.
This is scary, y'all. This is scary. This is crazy. These are what these young kids, they're probably like maybe middle school. This is the stuff that they're talking about. I feel like the question may be geared specifically towards war and atomic bombs, because I refuse to believe that all this is what's in the minds of all of these children when they're supposed to be talking about life in the year 2000, 30 years down the line. 30 years down the line, and for some reason we're stuck on atomic bombs. This is wild, and I need to stop saying the word before I get flagged or whatever it is. Guys, this is crazy. And now this kid is talking about decreasing the population, borderline genocide. Uh, what time period is this, guys? This is nuts.
I don't know how.
I think it'll be very dull, and people would all be squashed together so much there won't be any fun or anything. And people will be rationed to the amount of things they can have, because if they had too many things, it would just squash their houses, and there just wouldn't be room for them.
I think it'll be people will be regarded more as statistics than as actual people.
I don't think
No kidding. That's where we're at, buddy. I would like to know where these kids are at that are being interviewed. Where are they at? What are they doing with their life? Like the day, like, because this is wild.
It's going to be so nice. I think sort of all machines everywhere, everyone doing everything for you. You'll get all bored, and I don't think it'll be so nice.
I think it's going to be very boring.
And everything will be the same. I mean, people will be the same, and things will be the same.
First of all, those computers are taking over now. Computers and automation. And in the year 2000, there just won't be enough jobs to go around, and the only jobs there will be for people with high HQ, high IQ, who can work computers and such things. And
Yo, this is what? They might be in high school. I don't know. They give me middle school vibes, but this was 30 years ago. Sorry, this is 50 years ago. This is 50 years ago. Oh, they old. Never mind. Forget what I said before. They are old now. But just the idea of them saying that technology is going to take over. And it's like, bro, during that time period, they didn't have much. Like, majority of the stuff they did compared to today, yet they were concerned during their time period that there's not going to be enough work, and that technology is just going to take over, and that everything was going to be the same, and that life was going to be boring, this, that, and the third, to a point where now people are forcing for entertainment. This is the world back then, 50 years ago. I'm sorry, did I do that math right? 40. Let me see. 40, 36, 25, 60 years ago. Sorry, this is 60 years ago. This is wild, y'all.
Other people are just not going to have jobs. There just aren't going to be jobs for them to have.
I expect they will set aside parts of the country solely for recreation and have
crazy.
large blocks of built-up areas. And I think these are going to be very ugly indeed, probably.
No, I don't think I'll still be on Earth. I think I'll be under the sea. I think the population will have gone up so much that
They're going to live underwater?
either everyone will be living in sort of big domes on the Sahara, or they'll be under sea. There'll be so many people that they'll have to have an overflow into the sea.
What?
And so there'll be houses underneath the sea and houses above the sea.
They're not going to have so many square houses, you know, more curves and artistic designs instead of just sort of boxes like they've got nowadays.
Duplexes.
People wouldn't be able to live in ordinary houses because that would take up too much room. They'd have to be in flats, piled on top of one another, like that. And the houses would be rather small.
Called apartments. Yes, and they are small. Did they have apartments back then? They have flats. Are those the same thing? Flats are apartments essentially in Europe, if I recall correctly.
And everything would be cramped up, very cramped. Animals as they have here, sheep and cows and livestock, but they'll be kept in batteries. They won't be allowed to graze on pastures.
Okay.
They'll be kept in buildings all together, all in one big building and artificially...
These kids are not looking forward to the future. My goodness. It must be the way that they're asking these questions, because there's no way that this is processing in a kid's mind right now at this time. How much information have they been giving about what is going on in the world that would ask questions about the future? This is their response. It's just crazy.
Weird, so they'll yield a larger, be bigger and give more food. Might freeze, because the sun, I think, will probably burn out. And there's an ice cap coming down from the North Pole. I think it'll cover the Earth. It might have another ice age.
And I don't think there's anything to be frightened of, and lots of people think it's going to explode, but I'm certain it won't.
I think it'll be much more efficient. Because there'll be more cures for the diseases, and not so many people will get sick.
And the black people, you know, won't be sort of separate. They'll be all mixed in with the white people. And you know, the poor people and rich people will become the same.
Hopeful. That's what I love. The hopeful. See? Granted, this is only one child that says that, and it was probably based off of the question. But see, they not all white people are racist, and this is a child. Well, yeah, this is a child. She's under her parents' roof. It's a child.
Well, they will be poor and richer, but they won't sort of look down on each other.
She's just hopeful. And I love the hope.
I'm not looking forward to living in that year, about 50 years' time. I mean, the world seems to be in such a terrible state now, let alone in 50 years' time.
That's crazy. 50, 60 years ago, they're talking about the world is a terrible state right now. Imagine if they were here, right, bro. They're here. They're here. Unlike kids today, they're not here. They're just on social media. They don't know anything that's going on in the world. They're oblivious. So for them to be like at this level thinking about this stuff and then the critical thinking and thinking ahead, that's no longer a thing anymore with these kids. Heck, that was barely a thing when I was growing up, because there was just so much distraction, just so other stuff that could just affect the immediate. I didn't have to worry about anything outside of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy at the fact that these kids are like, 50 years from now, it's already crazy right now. And you're right. It was crazy back then. It's way worse right now. This is wild right now. Like, honestly, truthfully, there are times where I walk outside and I'm like, thank God for being alive. Thank God for seeing everything that I've seen. Thank God for all the blessings that I've had. I just wonder what it would be like living. But if I could just take I could just look through somebody else's eyes during this time period just to see what they experience and like their day-to-days and what they just did. Like I missed the days where I wasn't sitting on my phone. I missed the days where I didn't have a phone to sit on. I missed the days where, I had to rush and figure out what was going to be on TV and like actually sit and watch it, take the time to sit and watch and not like, oh yeah, I'll just go back and watch it later. I missed the times of just feeling like there's stuff to do. I don't know, y'all. This is crazy. This is crazy just to see what people are saying in the past about us today. It says a lot. Guys, what can we take from this experience? I don't even know. I no. It was just very interesting to see the opinions of kids, to see what, they thought about, 30 years ago and now 60 years ago, what they were saying 60 years ago about today. Everything that the kids were saying wasn't too far off. If you ask kids today what they think is going to happen in 60 years from that, they're not going to have critical conversations like this. Well, majority of the kids are not going to have critical conversations like this. They're not going to think about the things that's going on in the world and how things may progress in the future. And they're not worried about people's living situations and how that's going to go. They're not worried about, the workforce and what's going to be available as far as jobs and stuff like that. I personally believe that that's not going to be the case. But I mean, I may be proved wrong. Who knows? But it was interesting. It was an interesting watch. I had other videos to do. I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and dive into this. And this was not what I was expecting. So interesting video nonetheless. You guys let me know what y'all think. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.